Hey, Frankie G, how's it going?
Good, good. Doing very well here.
All right, well, let's do a quick introduction before we get rolling. I'm Eric Wanowski, United World Wrestling. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Catch all the documentaries that we have coming out, short films, whatever you name it. Right now, we just released the top 5 Iranians yesterday, so make sure you check that out. Next week's guest will be Henry Cejudo, two-time UFC champion and Olympic champion. That'll be May 20th, so make sure that you are on the lookout for that. But today we have three-time Olympian from Puerto Rico in 2011, world silver medalist Franklin Gomez. Franklin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. First time I ever do something like this.
Yeah, are you excited?
Well, no, I'm not much of a social media person, but I made it through. I'm here.
All right, so let's start here. You're originally from Puerto Rico, moved to the United States when you were younger. And are you in Puerto Rico now, or are you in the United States?
I am actually in Puerto Rico now because we're not able to train at the Knitting Lion Wrestling Club, where I'm part of. So they closed everything down because of the virus. So I'm back here, Puerto Rico, just with my family, doing whatever I can here.
And when you came prior to coming to the United States, where did your love for wrestling come from? Did it start in Puerto Rico, or when you came to the United States, did you start to wrestle?
No, I started in Puerto Rico. I started wrestling when I was about 12 years old, and I only did freestyle for several years, and then I moved when I was 16, 17 to the U.S. To better pursue opportunities in wrestling, because Puerto Rico is very small in wrestling, so the U.S. is bigger. So I was trying to get better in the U.S.
And the one thing about you is it's unique, because we talk to all these high-level athletes that wrestling is their life. But the unique part about you is that you're so involved in the community, and wrestling is not the thing that defines Franklin Gomez. There are so many other things that define you as a great person. So do you think that you being able to separate your wrestling from what you do outside of wrestling is what has made you so successful for a long time?
Well, I think that has definitely contributed to that, because before I was so focused on wrestling. I became so obsessed with it that all I did was wrestling, and I forgot about everything else in life. So now I think I'm better balanced, because I know wrestling is good. I love wrestling, but it's not everything in the end, you know. So I like to get involved with the community to help out, because I know there's a lot of people like me who came from a neighborhood who didn't have a lot of opportunities, you know. So wrestling opened opportunities, and because of that, I try to get involved with the younger people, the youth, as much as I can, especially when I'm here in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone yesterday who knows you very well, and they said that Franklin's upbringing, coming from where you came from to where you're at now, wins and losses is not something that you harp on too much, and it's because you see what you have and how fortunate you are. Do you ever stop and just really look back at where you were and where you are now? Have you had that opportunity, or do you think you'll wait until after your career?
Well, sometimes when I travel in airplanes, I look through the windows of the airplane. You see the clouds, you see like the sun far away. So
Yeah.
it made me think about that question you just asked, and it made me think about how grateful I am for just my journey, for coming from Puerto Rico, moving to the U.S. with Mike Joyce and Debbie Joyce, an American family who technically adopted me without knowing me. And I was there for 2 years in high school. Then I moved to college, to Michigan State, where you and I were part of the team there. And like, my journey has been really crazy, to be honest. But I'm just thankful to God and my faith in God, because everywhere I've been through, I think I have family and people who somehow come near me, and they end up like loving me, you know. So I'm thankful for all that. It is a crazy journey, but I don't think it will be over until it's over. You know, there's still more to come.
And let's start back at the beginning. 2000, and this is crazy. You've competed for Puerto Rico for every World Championships or Olympic Games from 2010 until now.
Yeah. Yeah, closely.
That is insane to think, but your first World Championships back in 2010, you were 20th, you finished in 20th. And then in 2011, you finish on the podium, second place. So a young Franklin at however old you were in 2010 to 2011, what was that growth like for you to go from 20th to wrestling in the World Finals?
Well, I think I made it the transition to go to the Newton Atlanta Wrestling Club with Kel Sanderson, Casey Cunningham, Cody Sanderson, and now Jake Varner as a coach now. But that transition was the best because over there, the training there is very smart. You know, they recover your body. I used to train a lot every day without taking any day off except for Sunday. And then all of a sudden I'm taking dates in between to recover my body. And it's just that transition and that mentality, being with like a lot of world-class coaches, I think it helped me a lot. And although I've been to a lot of world championships, not all of them I've been like healthy, and like there's always some ups and downs in a lot of the years, you know.
And for those who don't know, one of the sport's biggest legends, rest in peace, Besik KUDUKHOV, from Russia. You wrestle him in the World Finals in 2011. And then you go to the Olympic Games in London, and first round is a World Finals rematch. What do you remember about wrestling Besik?
Well, I remember it's always were good matches. You know, I look forward to a good, challenging match for me. That's the way I see it. I don't really think about winning or losing. I just think about like, man, if I can go out there and just like try my best and do the best I can with what I have right now, I'm satisfied. So, but wrestling him is like, it was like, well, this guy is like a world class, so many times world champion, you know, and like a lot of people just look up to him. But for me, he was just a wrestler. I didn't think about any of those credentials or anything. I'm like, he's just a human like I am. So like, what's here to look at? You know? I just got to do my best, and I know if I do my best, the winning and losing will take care of itself, you know. But it was good times. It was good times. It was hard at the Olympics. I remember I had a tough time making weight. We lost 60 kilograms. I'm up at 70.
Yeah, and now you're up at 74.
Yeah, so it was hard. It was hard making weight there. And I remember I got really, really, really sick. And I didn't sleep for like 2 days. My nose got clogged up and I couldn't breathe very well. So, but I was like, man, there's no excuses, you know. You got to go out there and try to do the best you can like that, you know. And it was tough, but I was still close to still beat him that day I wrestled. But he was a great wrestler, you know.
And fast forward to the Rio Olympics, obviously some unfortunate situations went on there. You end up losing to Navrazov, who finished with a bronze medal. So I don't want to go too into detail about the emotions and all of that to bring up whatever, but let's talk about what you learned from Rio, what you learned from London, and what you're going to take to Tokyo. Because, of course, you win the Puerto Rican Olympic trials, and then you go to the Pan-American Olympic Qualifier and qualify. So from your past 2 Olympic Games, what are you going to take into Tokyo 2021?
Well, I'm learning still that it's hard to control the things that you cannot control. Sometimes you wrestle in a match, and the referee is not obviously with you, or or in your favor by any means. You're just another guy from small country Puerto Rico or something like that, you know. So I'm still learning that I should not let that get in my head, you know. I should just do my best and let the referee do whatever they want to do, you know. But as long as I give my best, I'm gonna sleep well at night because I know within the things that I can control, I'm striving and trying to do my best with that. And it's hard to train a lot and then go to a match and then see that see stuff like that happening. Unfortunately, it still happens. But like I say, I'm gonna focus on the positive, which is like control what you can and try to let it fly. You know.
Yeah, and I tell a lot of people that a career-defining moment for me, people are always looking and asking me, like, what is one thing that you take away from your career? And I often look back to having a discussion with you at the 2016 Olympics shortly after your match with Navrazov. And the way you handled it is because, you know, you can't define a champion by wins or losses. It's how they react in those tough times. And through the toughest time of your career, when I talked to you, you were still, I mean, of course you were upset, but you still had that mentality like we have to move on. It happened. There's no looking back. So where does that come from? Your ability to push that stuff behind you? Was that something that just from your upbringing?
I would just say like because of my definition of success, I think is I tend not to hold on the winnings or not to hold on losing too much, you know. And all that really just come down through my faith in Christ, really. I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm wrestling, but I represent a lot of people. You know, I don't just represent myself. I'm not trying to here to look good, to try to like be all tough. You know, I represent a lot of people, and I wanna respect my opponent. I wanna wrestle with integrity. You know, and because I think like that, when something happened that doesn't go in my favor, I just think it's part of life. That could have been that day, but it could have been something else while you drive in the street. Someone cut you off.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to learn from your mistake and your losses, and how, like you said, how you react. A lot of times, it says a lot about who you are and your character. So I want to try to be a good model, a good example for a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers out there. You know, it's not just about winning and losing; it's about respecting other people as well.
And when you say respecting your opponent and all this stuff, you and Burroughs have had some clashes. And at the Pan-American Championships, I had got a message, Franklin Gomez and Burroughs just fist fought. It was crazy. People had to pull them off. And I was like, I know Franklin, and Franklin is not going to let anything get to that point. But you guys did come to push and shove. It was kind of, you know, back and forth, and it's a battle. You guys are battling out there. But can we just get your perspective on what went down? Because I know it wasn't fists. So
well, that's not my. I don't usually go like that because I don't like to punch people or do stuff like that because it's just not like if I'm gonna beat someone, I want to beat them, taking them down and doing stuff like that. But I was really mad because there's a lot of physical stuff going on, and I almost threw a punch there at the end, especially. I didn't care about anything. Like but thank God that I didn't do that because at the end of the day, you don't beat those things by doing the same thing. You know, like you beat those things by despite that, you're reacting in a way that maybe the other person doesn't understand why he's doing that. You know, it's just like for me, it's not about winning and hitting you or winning at all costs or anything like that. You know, for me, it's about getting my takedown, doing my move, and then just simply leave. You know, like nothing else. But it was a tough time for me there. It was like I think maybe Burroughs is was just more trying to like get in my head with
Yeah.
that stuff, you know.
Do you think it worked?
Oh yeah, congratulations, bro. You did a good job, I tell you that. Yeah, I think you did a good job. I mean, and that tests a lot to me how I need to learn. I need to like definitely not fall into that, you know, and just stay focused on the wrestling, not let that hinder me, you know, like just continue wrestling, you know, because if you expect the referee to do something because you feel someone's doing stuff to you or something, like it's just not gonna happen. I should know this by now, but it doesn't happen. So at the end of the day, I just hope and pray that he would grow in character, and that in my case that I'd be more attentive to that stuff, and I will grow in character as well, you know.
And that was the Pan-American Championships. You wrestle a week later at the Pan-American Olympic Qualifier. So what was real quick, what was the reasoning behind going back-to-back tournaments? Not a lot of people did that. You did, though.
Well, I think my federation, we didn't get like a deadline on time. Like it was confusion with my federation. We didn't do a good communication with that. Like it was just bad overall. So we're not able to send someone else because the deadline it was over, you know. So it was just bad. So I had to wrestle. I only wanted to wrestle one tournament, and because of that, I wrestled with like a injured shoulder and my knee and all that. But like I said, you don't look at those things. You go and try to do the best you can, even with those things, you know. But it's definitely better. For me, it would have been better, I think, to wrestle just one tournament. But at the end of the day, too, I look forward to wrestling people like Boros and like whoever the society thinks they're the top people, you know. Because at the end of the day, for me, they're just wrestlers, you know. And a good challenge for me is I really admire that. I want to always test myself and see where am I, see if I can grow from that, you know.
And that I'm not sure if you saw, but we posted yesterday that 360 of the throw against Canada in the Pan American Championships, and you got up gingerly. It looked like a knee issue. Is your knee good now?
Well, I'm resting now. My knee was bothering me quite a bit in some specific movement that I did. When I did that move there, it actually bothered me a lot. But I had to do it because I was already there. Like it was hard not to do a move like that, you know, because I'm already there. I can score the points, you know. But it really bothered my knee. But
and you knew we had the camera angles.
well, you guys are getting all high tech now, so
it's crazy.
You guys are doing a good job with all that stuff. But
well, thank you.
Like I said, you do the best you can. Whether you have a little tweak or injury here and there, you do the best you can, and you don't look at that. You just try to do the best, which is what I demand of myself, you know.
And speaking of the best, Pan-American the Olympic qualifiers, you end up qualifying Puerto Rico yourself for the third Olympic Games, like I mentioned earlier. But in your semifinals, you're wrestling Nestor Tafur of Colombia, and you trailed with, I think, under a minute left. He took you down. So you needed a takedown to lock up your spot to go to the Olympic Games. And I think it was, you get to that single and then switch to the double, and he kind of took one of your feet out, but you initiated the move, and it goes to a challenge. Before that challenge, he's leading on the scoreboard 6-5. So what's going through your head at that point? Under a minute left, you trail by 1.
Well, I was like, well, it's fine. You know, I have a minute to score, you know, if I need to score. I was a little bit conservative, honestly, because, like I said, my shoulder, my body, my knee was like, I had to, like, basically wrestle a little bit conservative, but not, like, too conservative. And I wasn't planning on this from the beginning. It just kind of, like it just kind of happened. No one knows, like, how bad it was bothering me, my knee, my shoulder, you know, because I'm the one there wrestling. But it was bothering me. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do the best I can with the situation I am. And if I need to score, maybe later I will. But I was positive. I was like, I just keep wrestling. You know, wrestling, yeah, ups and down. And in the situation that I was, like I said, I try to manage to do my best in those circumstances. It was hard. It was hard because I could have just like attack, be free, you know, and do my thing or whatever. But like it wasn't as easy to just do that because, you know, the mind battle. You know, when you move this, your brain's telling you it hurts. You know, this, do that. When you do that, when you do this, it hurts. You know, so it was a struggle, but I was confident that I was gonna. If I need to attack again hard, I was going to be able to get to the leg. I mean, it was close, but it's just the way it goes sometimes.
And so you qualified for the Olympics, but no celebration? Not even a fist bump? Like, we can't get anything out of you?
No, man, I don't like to celebrate too much like that. I celebrate inside. When I go back to the locker room or to the place for warming up, then I celebrate with people there maybe. But you know me a long time. I usually don't try to. And actually, you're gonna have Cejudo here next week. Maybe you should ask him this because we talked about this. Me and Cejudo used to wrestle when I wrestled 55 kilograms. And one time I remember I wrestled him, and I think I beat him early on in high school career. And he never had beaten me by then. Then he beat me, and he was like celebrating, my face, everything. And I remember feeling like bad, you know, and like I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that to anyone ever. You know, me and myself. Like I'm not saying celebrating is bad. All I'm saying like I'm gonna choose not to, just in case, you know, because I don't know like if the other person was looking like I was, you know.
So Cejudo changed your celebrations.
No, yeah, you can. He was part of that, and you can ask him that. We had like a lot of matches back and forward too. When I was top in high school, he was top in high school too. So we were back and forward. It was a good time. We talk now, we joke about all this, but yeah, I just don't like to. But basically, the way I celebrate is differently. I rather just like I don't know, go home and have a good meal or something, or talk with my friends or with people. I've never been like the hype type of guy. You know, I don't see a reason to do that personally. Maybe other people do, and that's good, you know. But I don't really see.
You're 33. You'll be 34 in August.
Yes, sir. I'm my young blood.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but what's next? I mean, after 2021. Are you going another cycle? Are you looking forward to 2024? Or you're 30? You're going to be 34 years old. What? Talk to me. What's?
Well, yeah. After this Olympics, I think I'll stop. Whether I win everything or not, you know, like I'm gonna obviously strive to be in the best shape and be the top I can be. But I think this will be for sure. I'll stop just because. I want to do other things, you know, not just wrestle until my legs falls off, you know.
Yeah. What other things do you want to do?
Well, I want to get involved with the community, like I was telling you. Like maybe I'll stick around the Newton Lion Wrestling Club for some time just to help out there. There's so much they've given to me, you know. So I can only be thankful and appreciate them, you know, for everything, especially with the donors and everything to support the club and the coaches, the community. It's just like everyone's all in for this wrestling club, man. We have a lot of world-class athletes there. So I might just stick around and I would definitely like to get involved with the community, maybe with like wrestling, but like the inner city kids. I know someone talked to me about beat the streets or something like that, but I don't know specifically, but I would definitely like to serve in the best way I can.
Well, Franklin, we are out of time for today. Really appreciate you joining. We wish you nothing but the best of luck moving forward. And hopefully for you, the third time at the Olympic Games will be the charm, and you will get the medal that you are searching for. So I appreciate it. The floor is yours. Do you have anything you want to say to your fans or tell them where they can follow you on social media?
Well, I'm not really big in social media, so if they follow me, it's fine. If they don't, I'm okay, but I have Franklin Gomez 6. That's my Instagram thing. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the love and support. I just hope that throughout my wrestling career and everything, I just be a good model to people.
Yeah. And you have been. So thank you for joining us. He's been Franklin Gomez. I've been Eric Olanowski. Make sure you are following us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you're checking out all of the videos that are coming out. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, Top 5 Iranians is up right now on all our social media channels. Once again, Franklin, thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next week, May 20th, with Triple C Henry Cejudo. Franklin, take care.
Thank you, guys.